This book is jam-packed. I mean, literally, tips are oozing off of every single page. I don't know how Kendra Adachi was able to do this, but I am so thankful for her mission, for her purpose, for her life, because it changed mine. And I believe it's going to change yours too. Hello there, I am Melissa, your time management and life coach, and today I'm super excited to talk to you about The Lazy Genius Way, a book that made my life so much better. I'm so excited to talk to you about these 10 lessons I learned that I think are just going to be so valuable for you. It has taught me how to be more intentional and more efficient in my own life, and I promise you, any of these tips you can start today. So the first concept is the power of deciding once. This concept is based on the fact that you don't need to spend a whole bunch of brain power on things that don't really matter to you, hence being a lazy genius. You want to work smarter, not harder. So the power of deciding once is all about you making decisions ahead of time so you fight that common epidemic that most working moms face, decision fatigue. I mean, if I got to make another decision about something, I might literally lose my mind. Two examples of this. The first one is birthdays. So for birthdays, if we're giving gifts, we decided on $25 gift card, and I don't have to spend a whole lot of time researching, finding out what the kid likes, coordinating with the mom, trying to find her, bothering her when she's trying to plan another party. We've just decided what the gift is going to be, and it's done. Another way that I have used the power of deciding once is with my hair. Now, I know it's a bit of an extreme and it's not for everybody, but I did not feel like doing my hair every single day. So I got lock extensions and I love it. It allows me to still be natural, and once every couple of months, I can go to a hairdresser and get it retwisted, but every day, I just wake up, I spray my hair, maybe put on a headband, put it up in a ponytail, I can go to the beach, I can get it wet, I don't have to run from the rain. I was able to decide once on this hairstyle because it worked for me, and now I can live my best life. I can spend my energy and time on the things that actually matter. This one's not necessarily a concept, but more of a way of thinking. I would say it was a big mindset shift for me. Choosing to live your life in a certain way does not make you better or worse than anyone else. A lot of us sometimes think about that worst piece, right? Like, oh my gosh, like I'm so hard on myself. We compare ourselves to other people, other families, and we make ourselves feel bad. But I don't think we are as honest and as aware of the other side of it. And that is, are we judging other people for not living their lives similar to ours in other respects or in certain respects? I think I secretly judged other families who let their kids watch TV or play video games during the weekdays. And I didn't even realize I was doing it. It wasn't until I read this book that I realized, oh my God, like I need to stop that. That is part of the problem. That's part of the reason why people don't feel comfortable to not only live their lives a certain way, but even if they're living their lives a certain way, they don't feel comfortable talking about it or communicating it. We are judging each other so hard, and it has to stop. We just need to support each other. You know, you can share the tips that are working for you, but try to be really aware about if you are being judgmental with other people, with other moms, and making it, you know, even that energy you're giving off could be making it hard for people to be vulnerable and to share what's really going on with them and ask you for help and advice. Batching. Oh my gosh, I love batching. I've done batching for quite some time now, and I've done it mainly at work, and not until I read this book did I think about doing it at home. Batching is the idea of doing similar activities together. So I'm going to give you an example at work and one at home. So at work, the way I batch is I set aside time to do certain emails, or if I have a PowerPoint presentation, I might work on the copy one day and the visuals the next. Batching at home looks like when I'm doing my laundry, we'll sit down and we'll just do all of the folding. And we can do that while we're watching TV or having a conversation, but it's just nice to sit down and do all of the folding. You know that's done, and then you can put everything away. So that's one way that we do batching in our home. Pay attention to your energy, not just your time. What we really want to do is manage your energy. What's your natural flow of energy during the day? When do you get your burst of energy and when are your lulls? We need to be super clear about that so that we can protect your energy. If you are a morning person and you have tons of energy in the morning, then that's when you want to do a lot of your important hard tasks, and you might want to limit conversations with people who are going to get you distracted or off task or put you in a bad mood. So that's one way to protect and manage your energy, and it's something that has been such a game changer, not only for me as a person, but for my clients as well. Community matters. You have to let people in even if it's not perfect. Now, here's a clear example of this for me. I would not invite people to my house because it wasn't in the right way, whatever that right way was. I haven't finished decorating. This thing has a scuff on it. Like it felt too messy to let people in. And I was missing out on spending time with people I love. So I have now started to invite people to my house more. And I gotta tell you, I don't know if they care. I don't seem to care as much. And it's just good to connect and spend time with people that I care about. It's much more meaningful than my place looking like a magazine. The other way that I don't let perfection get in the way of me spending time with the people I love and letting people in is my girlfriends are also busy working moms. So we don't always have time to have a full-on conversation. So what I do sometimes is when I think about them, I just send them a voice note. When they can get back to me, they'll send me a voice note. And when we can actually sit down and have a conversation, we still know what was going on in each other's lives, because occasionally we leave voice notes and we know some of those little things that are happening and we don't have a ton to catch up on. When you think of someone, think about leaving them a voice note. It could be a really fun and amazing way for them to hear from you, for them to know that you're thinking of them, and for them to feel loved without too much time taken from either of you. Embrace your own style. Now, this is not just the clothes that you wear, but this is also your home. You have your own thoughts, feelings, preferences about what you like, and you can admire something else on someone else and still not want to participate in that trend, and that is more than fine. Too many times we put pressure on ourselves to be a part of the trend. If you know yourself and you know what you like, it's okay if someone else thinks that that is basic. The only criteria right now is that you like it. So for me, I am a tank top and jeans kind of girl, and I love me some sweats. Some people might think, oh wow, she doesn't wear a lot of color, she doesn't wear a lot of flowy things, and I have my moments where I feel like doing that, but that's when I feel like doing that, not because that's what everyone is wearing. So I think it's been really freeing and empowering for me to just sit in the space where I know who I am and I dress how I feel like, and I don't have to compare myself to what anyone else is doing as long as I'm happy. You need to accept the season that you are in. And this one hurt. Sometimes we just want a solution to the problem that we're facing. I have clients who they are new mothers, and all they want is some respite, a break, some time to sleep, right? And not to say that there aren't things that they can do to get more sleep or to get their kids on a schedule, but until that happens, there's gonna be a little bit of loss of sleep here and there, and that is okay. It's just the season of life that you're in. There are moments where life is gonna be out of balance, and that is perfectly fine. It's life. Right? So I think that we need to make sure that we're not putting pressure on ourselves and other people to force themselves through a season, and just sometimes embracing it and saying, you know what, I'm going to give myself the grace, I'm going to give myself the time to get through this season, and I'm going to be patient. The whole concept of essentialism is something that I really love learning about as someone who kind of considers herself a bit of a minimalist. I think sometimes we can get so caught up in the labels and we're not thinking about, what do I actually need in order to get this done? And no more, right? So I love to cook, I love to bake, and I have fallen into the trap of buying the gadgets to make me do things faster, easier, more efficiently. And in some cases, that can be too much. And you have to ask yourself, how do I actually live? There's another version of you that is like the star baker and maybe like on MasterChef. If that person doesn't actually live in your house, then you probably don't need all of the gadgets that they own. So I have had to pull myself back, and when I'm gonna buy something new, ask myself, do I really need this? How often am I really gonna use this? I convinced myself that I was gonna make the birthday cakes in my family. So I bought the cake pans, I bought the piping stuff, I bought the scraper that goes around the edge, and I made a cake one time. And I was like, I won't be doing this again. I have decided, and here's where the deciding once comes back, that I will be buying birthday cakes going forward, because the amount of energy that it took me to make that 2-tiered cake was not worth it, in my opinion. I am happy to drop that $50, $60, $70, $100, you name your price, because your girl is not trying to bake that cake again. Know what you need and try to stick to it. And that's more the concept of essentialism. What do you really need based on the life that you actually have, not the life that you think you should? This is my absolute favorite step in the whole book, and I use it all the time, and I think it's actually better than SMART goals. So SMART goals, they're specific, they're measurable, they're actionable, they're realistic, and they are time-bound. Now, that's all wonderful. Sometimes a goal can meet all of those criteria and still feel like too much, still make you feel overwhelmed. And you know what you do? You sit down and you've done all of that analysis and you've come up with a wonderful little goal, and then you look at it and you're like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I ain't got the time, I ain't got the energy, I'll get to it when I get to it, and it never gets done. Now, what I love about the tiny ridiculous actions, is what I like to call them, is that it's so small, it's so tiny that it's a no-brainer. You can do it. And that's how I've been doing goals with my clients and setting goals for myself. So something as simple as my journaling. Yes, it's something I want to do daily. So I've set a goal of writing 1 sentence a day. If I happen to write more, wonderful. If I don't, I've still met my goal of journaling, and I've been able to keep up with writing in my journal more and more. Do I miss a day here and two? Absolutely. But I'm doing much more journaling than I would have been if I didn't set this tiny goal. And because it's so small, I feel like I can attain it. I am happy to do it, and I'm much more able to be consistent. And that just keeps me motivated. So set your goals and make sure they're tiny and ridiculous. As a busy working mom myself, I highly recommend this book to any mom who wants to find a little bit more balance and who wants to do it in a way that feels practical and real and attainable. If you found this video helpful, then be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell. We'll be talking all things time management and life coaching for busy working mamas like yourself. I'm so happy that you're here today. And if you're ready to make a change and start by clearing off your plate, then watch my next video about delegating. I walk through my 3-step method to help you delegate more effectively, more efficiently, and in a way that'll have them coming back for more.